Is your business struggling right now? You might think that it's because you don't have enough sales, but the reality is it's because you don't have the attention of the marketplace. This is Attention Equals Dollars, where you'll learn to master digital attention and turn that attention into sales for your business. I'm your host, Luke Nestler. I'm a digital marketing expert and a master at getting attention and turning that attention into sales. You deserve more. Your business deserves more. And I'm here to teach you everything that I know on how to get the attention that you need and to turn that attention into dollars. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Excited to be here. We've switched things up a little bit. Welcome to the Attention Equals Dollars podcast. I'm your host, Luke Nestler. We're coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. You might be listening to the audio version on our podcast on iTunes. And welcome. I'm excited about this show. We got a lot of good stuff going on. We've got our producers, Patrick and Aaron, in the room with us. And the mission of this podcast is to help you. It's to help small business owners, entrepreneurs just like you, learn the importance of getting attention. How do you get attention? What do you say? How do you say it? Where do you say it? And then the ever important thing of, can I actually turn that attention into dollars? Can I turn a like into a customer? We're going to teach you how to do that on this show. My name's Luke Nestler. I'm the CEO of Impact Media. We're a digital marketing company. We work with brands like Harley-Davidson, Nissan, Major League Baseball, NBC Sports. We help those companies get attention and turn that attention into sales. And today I'm going to tell you my story, because my story is why we're doing what we do. It's why we're so good at what we do, because it's what created us. Getting attention and turning that into dollars is the entire reason why we're here. In fact, we almost weren't here. We're going to tell what we call the origin story today. It's an important story for you to understand, because before you can increase sales, before you can get those customers coming in the door, you've got to get their attention. Before you can tell people about your thing, about your product, about how great you are, my friend, you've got to get their attention. And right now, you may or may not be getting it. My bet is you're probably not getting the attention that you need because you haven't figured out how to use digital and social. And that's what we're here to do today. So here's where the story starts. I like attention. A lot of people have commented on, Luke, you're so good on camera. Why do you like talking to your phone so much? I like getting attention. Whether you like getting attention or not, it's the lifeblood of your business, right? It's going to be the difference between if you succeed or if you fail moving forward in this digital age that we're currently in. It's not coming, it's here. So here's the thing. I was adopted when I was 3 days old, all right? My mom and dad, Clint and Vicky Nestler, adopted me. They showered me with love, with affection. They made me feel like I was God's gift to the earth. And I made the mistake of thinking that everybody thought that that was, the case. I thought that everybody was as into me as my parents were. They paid attention to me more than anybody. And here's what happened. It made me feel proud. It made me have an aura about me of pride and confidence that, it's uncommon to find in a young kid. I grew up on a 250-acre farm. So the people that were around me all the time were my mom and my dad, and I got all of their attention. So here's what happened. We moved when I'm in 6th grade to a new town. And I quickly realized that I don't fit in. I didn't get the attention that I got from my mom and my dad. And I seeked that attention. I craved that attention. That's when that fire inside me started to burn, because I wanted my classmates to want to hang out with me. But before I could get them to hang out with me, I had to get their attention. So what I started to do was anything that I could to get that attention. I started very quickly becoming the class clown. And let me tell you, that didn't go over well, because my mom and dad were school teachers, and the fact that Luke was in the office quite often, the fact that I got sent to my dad's classroom, that didn't go over well. So I was a class clown because it's what got attention. People started to think I was funny. People started to pay attention to me. I became an athlete. And I wasn't the best athlete, but I busted my hump because I wanted to get the attention of the people watching. I wanted to walk through that hallway on Monday morning and everybody be tapping me on the back saying, good game. I did anything I could to get the attention, and being an athlete was one. I was also involved in theater, right? I went to all lengths to get the attention. Now, back then, those were the tools that I had. That's important. Remember that for later on in this episode. The tools that I had to get the attention of my peers back then were things like being the class clown, being involved in theater, being involved in sports. You have tools as well right now that you're not using, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So by the time I graduated high school, I was one of the most popular kids. I was one of the better athletes. I was in theater. I had the girl. I had the group of friends. I had the attention of my classmates. And I had an ego to go along with it. You would have thought that I was Superman. I walked the halls like nothing could stop me because that attention made me feel that way. I realized that I was actually pretty good at getting the attention of others. And I wanted to be the popular kid. I want to make the same reason, now my goal is I want to make my parents proud because the opportunity that they gave me. All right? All of that goes back to attention. So let's fast forward a little bit. College was college, did my thing in college. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But when I got out, I started my business. And I started my business with my partner, Jeff Welsh. And it's the business that we have today. All right? This business was started in 2012. I made the mistake, and Jeff made the mistake of thinking that, hey, if we open our doors, if we create this company that does website design and video production, because that's what we were back then, people were just going to come to us because who doesn't need a website? Who doesn't need a video produced? Well, the problem was nobody knew who the hell we were. Nobody had any idea that we existed. We were very good at what we did. We were a small shop. But nobody knew us. We didn't have the attention of the marketplace. That thing that I was so good at getting in high school, middle school and high school, the attention of my peers, I didn't realize how important it was to get the attention of my potential customers. And it is. That's everything. I didn't even have the opportunity to sell them because they didn't know who we were. So things started to get really bad. And this is a story that 99% of the people that consume my content that follow me, they just don't know because up until this point, we've never really told this story. I didn't have the attention of the marketplace. We moved into the nicest office space in Morgantown. I was a young, you could say reckless entrepreneur. I became very quickly $30,000 in credit card debt. We couldn't afford to pay the rent at our office. We were struggling to get by, so much so that we hadn't taken a paycheck in a couple of months. I was sleeping on the floor of my office because, and when I say floor, there wasn't even a couch in my personal office. I was sleeping on the floor. I was using my jacket or my shirt as a pillow at night. One, because I couldn't afford a place to rent, and because we barely could afford to pay rent at the apartment. And I remember the day, Jeff and I joke about this now, but it's terrifying. I remember the day that Jeff came in and said, man, we haven't paid ourselves in almost 3 months. If we don't flip this thing around in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have to roll and get a different job because I've got a wife and 2 kids to support. At that point, I thought entrepreneurship was like, it was a game, right? I wasn't really, I didn't really understand all that was on its stake because I was in my early 20s. It was a game. Entrepreneurship is this cool thing right now, and I was making the mistake of thinking that it just was easy to become a millionaire. Well, we were going the exact opposite way, and I was at risk of losing everything. And I was at risk of losing my business partner, and I'm so passionate about making my dad proud because my mom and dad have given me everything. And at that point in time, I had to go ask my parents for money just to continue to survive, which was, it was the hardest thing in the world for me to tuck my tail between my legs and go ask for help just to be able to survive. Here's the problem. This is what's going on. Let's take a step back from that current situation that we're in. Here's the problem of what's going on in that scenario. Nobody knew who Luke and Jeff were. Nobody knew who Impact Media was. They didn't think of us to design their websites and create their marketing videos because nobody knew us. So we were open for business, but nobody was coming in. Nobody was hiring us. So we weren't able to pay the bills. We weren't able to, keep from debt getting built up. I couldn't even afford a place to live, not because we had a sales problem, but because we had an attention problem. So remember back when I said the tools that I used in high school and middle school were, being a class clown, being involved in theater, being involved in athletics? The tools that I realized very quickly would help me get my word out, help people learn who I was and what my company did, the same tools that you have available today in your hand, at your fingertips. And it's what works better than anything else. It's your cell phone. And that cell phone is Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's LinkedIn, it's YouTube, it's all these platforms that it's your gateway to the attention of thousands and thousands and thousands of potential customers that don't know what you do or who you are. That same year that I was $30,000 in personal credit card debt, that same year that I was sleeping on the floor of my office, that same year that Jeff and I hadn't paid each other in 2 months and he almost had to quit and go get a real job, was the year that we doubled our business. And do you know what we did? I started talking. I started self-promoting on social media. So the reason why we're here today, the reason that we're the company that we are today is because it's what made us survive. We were a web design shop and a video production shop. The reason that we sell social media campaigns to our clients is because it's the only thing that kept us alive. It's the only thing that allowed us to not lose our business before it even got started. Today, we have 12 employees. We're growing. We're building that staff right now. We're working on some of the biggest brands in the world. Do you know why we're so good at what we do? Is because we had no choice but to figure those tools out because we were going to lose it. Our ship was sinking. Here's the thing. You want sales. You want business, but you're marketing and advertising your business like you did 5, 10, maybe even just 2 years ago. Things change very quickly. You're not getting the attention of the marketplace, and before you can get sales, you've got to get attention. In fact, the reason that both of my film producers that are sitting in the room today are here, guys, how did you find out about us? Patrick reached out to us. Aaron reached out to us. Initially, what turned you on to us? How did you find us?
You came to my class and we're speaking.
Right. So I got attention through in-person activity. I came and spoke at his class. Aaron, you saw our stuff on social media, right? I also probably spoke in your class as well. But even from a recruitment standpoint, look, if you're a small business, you have employees. Well, if you want the most talented employees to be able to produce the best result for your customer, the employees have to know who you are and want to work for you over your competitor. You need the attention of your employees as well as your customers. You're not talking about yourself. If you're good with the fact that you know you're a good person inside, you care about your customers, you care about your family, you're a great person, it's okay to talk about yourself online. So many people think that self-promotion is an egotistical act. Self-promotion is something that is shunned upon because only people that are into themselves, air quotes, are the ones talking about themselves online. Listen, I want you to know who I am because I can help you. I want you to know who I am because I've got a lot on the line. I've got a family to take care of here at the office. I've got a wife at home relying on me to bring home the bacon. If you don't know who I am, you're not going to be able to hire me. My friend, if you're watching me live on Facebook or on YouTube, I'm looking at you. Or if you're listening to me on the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, I'm talking to you. You're not talking about yourself. And that's a problem. Here's what I see. I talk a lot and I watch a lot, okay? What I see is people like you talking about your crazy night out at New Year's Eve, your cousin getting married, where your family vacation is, your favorite sports team, your view on politics, and all that is fine. But what I don't see you talking about is what you do professionally. If I don't see it, you might take for granted that the world knows what you do. Maybe you're a realtor. Everybody knows I'm the best realtor in town. Nobody knows that. You know why? Because you talk about hockey, you talk about your family, you talk about the holidays. You don't talk about what you do. And not just talking about it in a way that provides value and brings value to the person watching it. Advice. Teach me something. Make it interesting. Right? I'm not telling you to buy from my company on the show. I'm teaching you. Attention Equals Dollars is about teaching you how to get attention and turn that attention into dollars. It's not an infomercial for Impact Media and Luke Nestler and all that we do. It's about teaching you something. But I'm getting your attention. So 3 months down the road, maybe 3 years down the road, when you need marketing, who are you going to go to? Somebody that has never brought you value, or the person that has been talking to you for 3 months, 3 years, whatever it is. You're going to go to the person that you know, that you like, that you trust. And the only way you're going to get that from your audience is by getting their attention. This game is simple. I have meetings every single day with potential customers. I speak at events every single month to hundreds of people. This game of marketing today is actually simple. At the same time, it's difficult because you make it difficult. It's all about getting attention in the right place. You have to pay attention. Where is your market? Where are your customers? Do they pay attention on Facebook, or are they younger and they're on Snapchat and Instagram? Are they watching their content on television, or are the majority of your consumers getting their content on Netflix and YouTube, Hulu, things like that? It's a matter of knowing where your customer is paying attention and moving your message to those platforms. Once you move that message to those platforms, understand what content works on each platform. For example, photo and graphical content kills it on Instagram. Video content is king on Facebook. So don't get on Facebook and then put a massive graphical post that people aren't going to read, because they don't like that on Facebook. They like video. Don't get on YouTube and post video after video, Instagram, and post video after video after video after video when it is a very quick consumption platform. They're swiping, they're scrolling, they're looking for a quick fix. So number one, where does your audience pay attention? Number two, what content is going to work on those platforms? It's very simple. And then the final thing is, you have to get over the fact that you're going to have to be on camera. I don't care if you like being on camera. Your customer doesn't care if you like being on camera. The way you're going to get their attention is through visuals, through video. You can hear the tone of my voice. You can see my mannerisms. You can't get that from a billboard. You can't get that from a graphical Facebook ad. You have to get that through video. You have to get on video, and you have to get that video on the platforms that your customers are paying attention. My friend, attention equals dollars. That's the motto you need to understand this year, 2018. If you want to blow it up in 2018, you can't do the same thing you did last year. I did a live stream yesterday about Albert Einstein's definition of insanity as doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That sums up what you're doing perfectly. And I know that because I see what you're doing, because everybody's doing it. You're doing the same thing that you did last year and the year before last and the year before that. And you might try something different for a couple of weeks, and then you don't give it a chance, and then you stop and you go back to what you did months ago, years ago. You have to mix the game plan up. You have to understand to get the attention of your customer, you have to get frequent and you have to get active on these platforms, right? Maybe a podcast isn't right for you. It takes a decent amount of time. We have a whole crew in here producing this show. You know, it's very simple. Pulling out your phone, shooting a 60-second video about what you do and about an actionable piece of advice that your customer can take away. Here's a very quick example. If I'm a realtor, okay, here are the top 3 things that you need to know before selling your home this winter. Here's the number one thing that every first-time home buyer needs to know about buying a house. Do you know what your competitors are saying? Buy a house from me. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to put content out that's going to get their attention. My friend, I am great at getting attention, but it's not because I have some secret superpower. It's because I've always sought the attention of others. I want my mom and dad to pay attention to me still and be proud of what I've done. So I push the envelope daily to make them proud. Do you want to know why? The main reason? My time with them on this planet is limited, okay? I was adopted when I was 3 days old. My parents were older. My dad is 72 years old. Right? So I'm pushing much harder than a lot of people because I want to show him what I can do before his time is up, right? And he has a lot of time left. That's besides the point. But that's what pushes me and drives me daily. That's why I have no problem that some of you might think that I'm a complete lunatic for doing this, because I know what works and I know my mission and my goals at the end of that road. What am I trying to achieve? The way I'm going to achieve it is by getting your attention. The way I'm going to get your attention is by putting myself out there on social media and showing you that I'm a step above my competitors. And I'm going to show you that I'm a step above my competitors by actually teaching you something. Not by saying, hey, we're better than the competitor. We've got the best price. Come here. That's your plan. That's not how it works. Prove to me that you're better than the competitor. Do you sell insurance? Are you a hair salon? Are you a real estate broker? Do you sell cars? Are you a restaurant? Don't tell me why you're better. Show me. And in order to show me, you have to take action and get attention. Stop talking about everything except for what you do professionally. Stop talking about your kids and your friends and your view on politics and not talking about your profession. Start mixing that in. You're forgetting a critical aspect. The average adult, spends over 1,000 minutes a month on Facebook, over 600 minutes a month on Instagram, over 450 minutes a month on Snapchat. You're spending the time there. You're simply not putting the right message out. My friend, before you can get sales, you have to get attention. Attention equals dollars. This is the first podcast. We're still kind of feeling out what's the rundown going to be? What's the vibe of this thing going to be? We're going to have some special guests. We've got some pretty exciting people lined up. I can't tell you who they are yet, but we're talking about multi-millionaires that have done some extremely exciting things. They're going to be guests on this show. They're going to talk to you about how they've gotten attention and turned it into sales. We're also going to be working with small business owners. Maybe it's you. We're going to be talking to people that haven't figured out how to get the attention and turn it into sales. You're going to sit right here in the studio, in the conference room at Impact Media with me, and I'm going to teach you how to do it live on air. If that's you, you can email me at luke@thinkimpact.com, and you can request to be a guest on our show, and we'll see if we can't work it out. But we've got a lot of exciting things coming up in the coming weeks for this show. Again, this is the Attention Equals Dollars podcast. We're going to come to you live from our office in Morgantown, West Virginia, every single Wednesday afternoon. I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, my friend, continue to get attention. The dollars will follow, but it's up to you to get the attention and turn it into sales for your business. We'll see you next week. Is your business struggling right now? You might think that it's because you don't have enough sales, but the reality is it's because you don't have the attention of the marketplace. This is Attention Equals Dollars, where you'll learn to master digital attention and turn that attention into sales for your business. I'm your host, Luke Nestler. I'm a digital marketing expert and a master at getting attention and turning that attention into sales. You deserve more. Your business deserves more. And I'm here to teach you everything that I know on how to get the attention that you need and to turn that attention into dollars.